Greetings and welcome to the Scorpios out there. Welcome to the channel. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. We shall begin with a prognostication on for the month of November 1st, 2022 at 7:40 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the 1st. So to begin, there is a very strong accentuation on the path of liberation, okay, in your 12th house. Now, depending on, of course, your actual degree of Scorpio, it could be affecting either your 12th house or your first house. That has to do with essentially the ending of the self and the beginning of the self, okay? The Omega and the Alpha are here on the ascendant, okay, and on the 12th house, essentially. Depending on the degree of Scorpio in which you inhabit Scorpio's energy. And this this brings forward a yoga that is a conjunction of Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the South Node, okay? And essentially this allows for the solar energy to combust. The mind combusts the value system of Venus, as well as the knowledge that comes through sacred knowledge in the 12th house. The ability to listen to higher messages, the mythical vision that one would have. It's all here in the energy of Scorpio in your ascendant, okay, essentially. And this is a smearing effect. It actually produces the effect that you are there, that you are solarly attuned, that there is a type of awakening that has to do with the sort of bringing forward of light through Sun as well as through Venus and Mercury. This has to do with knowledge, okay, self-knowledge that comes from the 12th house and it is imparting essentially either genetic or spiritual attunement of some sort, okay? This has to do with proper alignment. Again, this happens early in November. The interesting thing is that you may find that other people come into your life who have this soul energy or are karmically, they have a karmic signature to them, and they come from a place of trying to find a sense of order within chaos, okay? Within their own desires, their own motivations, their own ambitions. Now, with the South Node being placed essentially directly on your ascendant, you are being perceived as someone who comes from the past. There's a ghostly sort of energy that has a solar infusion about them, about you, okay? And this opposition creates a sense that you will find yourself by completely I would say opposing to sort of blocking or to refraining from any of the sort of external energies that you find through other people, okay? And this is interesting because with Taurus, Uranus in Taurus in retrograde, combined with the North Node, the raging bull is here, okay? And this has been a theme or a topos for many months now here on the channel, in which Scorpio is something of a matador, or someone who can dodge the red, dodge the sort of red-eyed bull that charges forward, also the dragon's head. So there's an ability to sort of get rid of all that you don't need in terms of a value system when it comes to your love life or your creativity, as well as the way you think. There's a saturation here that is being infused with white light and solar attunement, okay? Now, the solar plexus is actually, it's called the solar plexus because that chakra, the Manipura chakra, it has to do with the energetic sort of reserve of the body. It also contains the most nerves in the body, okay? And this has to do with the processing of food, the processing of prana, okay, to find empowerment. And because it's on the ascendant, the solar energy here, this has to do essentially with a type of transformation, a heavy metabolism, as well as a lot of solar energy, acidic fire in the belly that will help you to process information right now. Okay, and this information is mythic in nature. It has some sort of spiritual attunement to it, the signature of that. But the thing is that other people won't understand this, as well as your friends, your siblings, your family. There's something about the transformation that they're going through that is completely independent of your own transformation. Therefore, there's something that has to do with the irony of becoming the change, but then not. And embodying the change, more importantly, embodying the change, becoming the leader, okay? But then not being understood by others. The thing to do here is to really look into your sense of home and your sense of environment, where you feel the most comfortable in terms of the idea of loss and the idea of liberation through loss, okay? Suffering in attachment, and then letting go of that, and then transforming in order to find auspices and accolades in terms of real friends, real authentic friends that belong in your inner world, that resonate with your inner world, okay? The thing is that there is a sense that some form of exploration or transformation of your own inner world, your own sense of domicile or home, are coming to head with the Mars and Vertex conjunction of Mars in retrograde in Gemini in your 8th house. Therefore, there are certain blocks that are happening that have to do essentially with the negotiation of the 2nd and the 8th houses, okay? This has to do with the sublimation of things, trying to deal with karmas or deal with inheritances of some sort, and essentially applying the right magic, okay? The transformational magic, right? The right sort of circumstances in order so that your friends or your most immediate environment will come to help you, okay? And that's the best I can do in terms of an astrological forecast for November. We will look into, so the thing is that Mars is in retrograde, okay, and it's in Gemini. So it may feel like a lot of the actions that are intended to have authenticity are coming to head, where you're having to move in 2 different directions, okay? At the same time, the divine gateway of Gemini, it allows for essentially the intellect to come in, okay? The ability to see 2 sides of a coin, but then, sort of making both decisions on what truth is, what reality is, and essentially trying to find the middle point between the 2 in order for the gateway to open up, okay? Because Mars is in retrograde, a lot of the actions that you do may not be understood by others, and because it has this duplicitous effect of Gemini, there's difficulty in finding purity of mind, okay? So the idea here is to remain silent, or to find a stasis, to find a meditative point, a sadhana, to actually allow for the transformations that are occurring within yourself to be understood by others in due time, okay? Now, let's see here. Let's go to the 8. Mars, Pluto. That's 2, 8. We'll do 8. So we're moving over to the Great Mirror now. And the Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order of the Twin Sun in order to see particular karmas that may exist between Scorpio and a significant other, okay? I believe that was just shuffled 8 times. And we have here the Sun's energy in Scorpio, which is exactly what I was just talking about. This is your energy, this is theirs. And the mirror is the sort of karmic sort of reflection that occurs between in terms of action. So, with the Sun in the 12th house, there is a dark mystery, mythical quality about the stellium that's affecting you right now. This has to do with the clearing out of karmas and the sort of nakedness or the nudeness that comes through this stellium in your 12th and 1st houses in Scorpio, okay? And this is how they see you. There also is a type of projection about them that has to do with the sort of separation. Gemini's energy coming in strong here with the Five of Swords. What is emerging out of this is a fearful sort of fog that has to do with regret, that has to do with the letting down of certain things. But at the same time, the difference between these two cards is essentially the Four of Swords, okay, which has to do with a peaceful way. And then as you radiate as the sun, there's something about that sense of peace of mind that actually sort of produces the effect of stillness. Okay, even in stagnation, there's a type of stillness in that. So silence, I see here a lot of silence, but then as the sun radiates with the 12th house energy, there is the effect that primarily on a conscious level, what can be seen here are the fears that exist between two people, okay? And how these are self-produced in a way. On a soul level, there is a deep passion and intensity to create something. What it is primarily is patience. Patience wants to be created. There is a choice that someone needs to make. And as they find contention, or as they find a way to sort of conflict or balance out something, making a choice, choosing one or the other. This is a common theme between both of you. And I think that with all this solar energy, including Leo's energy and the Queen of Wands and the Five of Wands, there is a strong desire to actually create empowerment of some sort. In this type of connection, your Manipura chakra is being activated, and astrologically it is being activated as we speak. I am not a medical astrologer, however, I do see this as an activation of the solar plexus, okay, which will allow you to actually digest not only food properly, but also pranic force, or to understand and digest information, also with it being highly accentuated by the 12th house or Neptune or Piscean energy. What I'm seeing here is essentially a construction of something that culminates to this Nine of Wands energy. It's a lot of wands, a lot of fire in this connection, and then there's a deep reserve or hesitancy on their side. What emerges out of this is the Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands in particular, as well as the Two of Wands. There is a choice to choose oneself, one's own heart, when it comes to weighing up the world and trying to understand, leaving a choice behind, and then it producing the effect of inspiration or experience of some sort. So ultimately, there is a type of barrier that's going on here, a feeling of a burden on one side, and the Eight of Wands, a feeling of empowerment on the other, okay? The idea here is to create barriers with other people that will actually produce the effect of mutual empowerment. This has to do with respect. And this is primarily what I'm seeing for the energy of Scorpio in November 2022. Thank you. Bye-bye.